headlamps are a big problem on Maine's roads, why AAA research shows you need to get them fixed.
And Money Magazine is calling South Portland the best place to live in the state. I'll tell you why.
And she's back helping for a second time, this time someone she doesn't know. This Scarborough High School senior story to inspire us all this season. This is News Center Now.
Governor-elect Janet Mills announced Pender Macon, her nominee for Education Commissioner. Good evening, I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. Macon most recently served as the Assistant Superintendent in the Brunswick School District. And here's a quick history lesson about her. From 1997 to 2003, she served as a classroom teacher at the Fred C. Westcott Junior High School in Westbrook. She went on to become principal at the Regional Education Alternative Learning School on Mackworth Island in Falmouth, a position she held for more than a decade.
Don Kerrigan has more coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30 and 6. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania made a surprise visit to American troops in Iraq late on Christmas night to thank them for their service. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders tweeted out this photo with men and women at the Al-Assad Air Base huddled around the president and the First Lady. This was Mr. Trump's first journey to an active combat zone since he took office. According to Reuters, Mr. Trump says he is in no hurry to replace outgoing Secretary of Defense General James Mattis. The president also says he has no plans to remove troops from Iraq.
Home in time for the holidays. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is out of the hospital. The 85-year-old justice underwent surgery on Friday to remove 2 cancerous nodules on her left lung. According to a spokesperson for the Supreme Court, she was released from the hospital Christmas Day. The nodules were discovered last month when Justice Ginsburg broke 3 ribs. Doctors say there is no sign of any cancer remaining. Justice Ginsburg has been treated for cancer on 2 previous occasions.
Well, the cold and calm is not going to stick around. Meteorologist Jessica Conley has a first look at the forecast. Hey, Jess.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we are about to get things a little more interesting in the weather world. Temperatures are cold. 29 right now in Portland, 26 in Lewiston, 29 in Brunswick, 24 in Mercer. Some places even cooler. Look up in Frenchville, 15 degrees there right now and 16 in Presque Isle, Bangor. Currently sitting at 26 degrees. Overnight tonight, temperatures will only cool off a little bit, and then things will start to get a little bit more interesting tomorrow night and definitely into Friday. Right now, a couple clouds around. That's about it. We have partly cloudy skies. That's what we'll see through the overnight hours tonight as well. We'll start tomorrow with some sunshine, but we'll really see increasing clouds as we go throughout the day. That's because a storm is on the way for Friday. We'll see some snow in some parts of the state, some sleet and freezing rain in other parts of the state. But one more day of at least some sunshine tomorrow morning. Then as we go into Friday, it's going to get a little bit messy, but we have the chance for some spring-like temperatures. We're talking temperatures in the 40s possibly for Friday and Saturday. So we'll talk about all of that in the next couple of chances for snow coming up in just a bit, guys.
All right, it is Maine law that you must have your headlights on when your wipers are on, like in the case of snow. Well, new research from AAA shows that when your headlights look like this, they only produce about 20% of the light of a brand new headlamp. And they say that's a real safety concern. And according to AAA, 50% of the car crashes happen at night. And this time of year, our evening commutes are in the dark. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office reports an increase in traffic crashes during the winter months. That's why traffic safety experts are encouraging everybody to check in on their headlight health. You would never drive with your headlights off at night on the highway, much less on one of Maine's windy rural roads.
Cutting down the illumination distance cuts down the reaction time.
Captain Scott Stewart says every winter, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office sees an uptick in crashes, partially due to the dark evening commutes. And when a headlight only producing 20% of its full output, according to new research from AAA.
Driving at night is challenging enough as it is, and when you can't see far down the road because your headlights are diminished, that puts not only yourself but other roadway users at risk as well.
Sun causes the most damage to these lenses, but road sand and salt can also make it worse.
The breakdown of the lens is actually on the exterior. You can see how that you can actually feel the roughness in this lens.
The average car on Maine's roads is about 12 years old, but AAA research shows that this type of damage can happen in just 3 to 5 years. And service technicians say about half of the cars that come into the shop have cloudy or foggy headlights.
It's important to point out how much light is lost. You add things like snow, fog, and rain, which reduce your sight anyways. This just adds to it, generally.
So how can you fix it? Do-it-yourself kits are the cheapest, but typically only restore the headlight to about 70% of its total output, according to AAA.
This is a safety concern that needs to be addressed. And to do it the best and most effective means is to replace the headlight and get it back to 100%. But that's going to be costly, and that might not be in the cards for everybody.
Officers like Captain Stewart say safety is critical.
But also we try to work to prevent these things from happening again.
Now, there are other options besides just the do-it-yourself kits or going to the original manufacturer's part to completely replace the headlamp, but even some of those certified aftermarket products may only restore the light to about 90% of its total light output. And in many cases, your car will not pass the state inspection if headlights are foggy or hazy. Lindsay?
Chris, thanks. A modern-day Goldilocks. That's the story Waterboro homeowners have to tell after finding an intruder inside their home over the weekend watching TV. The York County Sheriff's Office identified the intruder as Derek Tarbox of Standish. The homeowner said Tarbox had eaten some food, taken a shower, dressed himself in the homeowner's clothing. Then he was found inside the home. Sheriff's deputies and state police say he also stole 2 vehicles. Tarbox says he thought the house belonged to a friend. Well, South Portland is topping the charts as the best place to live in the state in 2018.
So what makes the small town so special? Cameron O'Brien has the answer.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, it's a mix of several different things. Location, affordability, school system, and development potential. South Portland has marketed itself as a place that is ripe with business opportunity, as well as a great spot to raise a family. And so far, it's paying off. This year, South Portland takes the cake as the best place to live in Maine. That's according to Money Magazine. It's high praise for the small city that was rated among the top 100 places to live in America in 2017. South Portlanders say they're not surprised.
Yes, it is the best place to live that I've ever lived. I've lived all over the country, and it's my favorite.
So, what makes them number one?
As you can see from where we are right now, we're locationally spectacularly advantaged on the Atlantic coast, just south of the state's largest community. We have all the amenities of a full service city, but we can deliver those amenities and services in the way a small town or small community can in a very personal way.
We particularly like this section called Nightville right here. It's just like a little neighborhood, and everybody's very friendly, and we love the little shops, everything up and down the street. It's wonderful.
It's a trend South Portland officials hope to continue with business investments and affordable housing expansion slated for 2019.
The majority of our growth will come from existing businesses. We've seen that in the past. We expect that to be the case in the future. And we're looking for another very positive year.
Another interesting note on South Portland's plans for 2019 is the promotion and expansion of their broadband network. City officials tell me South Portland has one of the largest, highest speed broadband networks north of Boston. So they want to use it to lure in folks that want to live in or move back to Maine, but they need to telecommute or work remotely.
Very interesting. I know that's a big draw for a lot of communities, is that broadband network.
Absolutely, and they've got it on lock.
All right, thanks, Cam. All right, well, now that kids have opened their tablets, their phones, their other devices, it may be time, if you're a parent, to set some limits. Experts suggest that families create a technology plan that includes rules for when it is okay to use electronics and when devices need to be put away. They say it's important to be realistic, especially with older children. A tech-free dinner is one thing, but a full week without mobile devices may be a little ambitious. It's also a good idea to have a central area in your home away from bedrooms to charge devices at night. And here's the hard part. Adults need to set a good example by limiting their own technology use. That's something that we do at our house, my wife and I.
Like put it down, put it away.
Yeah,
Enough's enough.
We have a spot near our shoes where when we come in, where we charge our phones, and certain nights we'll just put them there, watch TV, the two of us, so we're actually watching the show and not watching the show.
Right, that's pretty fair. Okay, now we're going to contradict everything we just said and check out what adults are doing on Snapchat. All right, so checking out Snap Maps today. It's a map of all things Snapchat. We're able to see what you guys are doing in real time. Someone mentioned they have a bad tattoo situation going on.
I think this is a snap map of the Nerf gun Christmas present that is going on. And let's just say that when I was a kid, I was on the other end of the Nerf pellets.
I want to get into the business of making those darts because they go missing so easily.
Oh my goodness gracious, look at this.
Look at this cozy pop. Now this is the way to spend the day after Christmas, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
And if I could have stayed by the fire today, I probably would have as well. Check out these guys. All right, this pond is completely frozen. And what better than letting your kids walk across it? This is in the town of China, Maine. Really cool when you can get the pond frozen that much that you can be out there literally walking on water.
Yeah, very cool. I love pond hockey this time of year. It's always good.
Hey, what's happening, Facebook? Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are back answering your questions on News Center Now. Joe Dunbar weighing in, saying how many of you guys went to work today, thinking it was Monday. Me, and then I realized it's Wednesday. Awesome, short week for me, which I have no problem with. Let's take a look at some of the comments here, some of the things you guys are talking about today. Thank you for joining us. I know that a lot of you guys may have you may be hanging out at home, so we appreciate you guys spending part of the day with us to get your news. If you didn't get a chance, hey, there you go, Joe, we're back. I was just talking about your question. Jesse?
Great, thanks, Bill.
Look who I found.
Hey, sorry guys. I was a little late to the game with some things and I had to figure those out just now.
It's nice that you even do the lower third. Sometimes I don't have time and I don't have time to do them, so I just don't do them.
Yeah, it's all good.
And then the story airs and it's over. Right,
I don't really have an excuse today.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you mentioned what you guys do at home with your phones.
Yes.
I want to know, do you guys have any interesting things that you do with your families? Like, do you have to put your phone in a certain place for dinner? I'd love to hear what you guys do too. For preseason for sports, we always used to have to turn our phones in.
I like that.
It was brutal though.
Oh, this is you.
Well, the holidays, a time when old patterns of behavior may return for grown-up children spending time with mom and dad.
Research says when perfectly normal acting adults visit their childhood homes, some good and bad behavior patterns may also come home for the holidays. It's called childhood regression. I think we're all guilty of it. Experts say when we move out of our childhood homes and become a larger member of society, we mature as our lives are changing, except for Lee Goldberg. But when we get back to mom and dads, we slip right back into that role as a child or teenager. And parents may be just as guilty, letting their kids jump back into those childhood behaviors.
From the airport, it's like they're back to being babies again. He's 20 and he's 18. And they just go into that mode of, I said it first, and I said it first, I call it, and I don't call it, and you're it, and you're not it, and oh my God, it's back to when they were 3 and 5 again.
Yeah, mom cooked for us and everything. Tamales. Whatever we find, tamales, turkey, ham, whatever.
Why do you do that for them when they're home? Do you treat them like kids?
Yeah, I treat them like kids. They're my babies.
Experts say that to avoid that regression, just treasure the moments together and find a way to balance the roles between past and present. So parents, try not to criticize, and kids, maybe volunteer to do the dishes instead of arguing with your siblings.
Very good. I think those are some fair points there, some takeaways.
Stuff I can do at home.
Yeah, maybe use that as if we didn't do those things for Christmas, maybe use them for the new year, if we're getting together with family again, or maybe keep them in the back pocket for next year.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of, Christmas has now come and gone, and we want to know the most popular gifts this year. Gift cards were one of the most requested items for the 12th straight year. Here are a few tips on how to best use them. Be sure to read the terms and conditions, as some cards are only redeemable at a certain store or location. Cards can be registered as credit cards on websites listed on the card, which can protect them against theft or loss. If you have any unwanted cards, you can sell them for cash at several exchange sites. However, you might not get the card's full value back.
Worshippers across India visited churches to celebrate Christmas. In one eastern city, a sand artist made a giant sculpture of Santa Claus using just sand and plastic bottles. Christians form less than 3% of India's population of more than 1 billion people, but Christmas is now widely celebrated in the country. Celebrations were marked by carols, cakes, candles, glittering Christmas trees, and the exchange of gifts by family and friends.
That sand sculpture was amazing.
Pretty cool.
Really cool. Okay, so it's a busy time of year for high school seniors. We're going to meet one in Scarborough who is pausing to give back to others for the second year in a row.
And meteorologist Jessica Conley returns with a full look at the forecast.
Ralph Caldwell photobomb.
You never know where the handhelds go.
Woo! Here we go. Okay, here we go.
All right, all right, all right.
Is this just your package and then weather?
It is my story and then weather.
Oh, and then there's a bunch of stuff. Okay, so.
But
do you
we
want to bring the iPad?
Yeah, but we do come back here before.
Oh.
Before all that other stuff.
We wrap weather over here?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Guys, I can't wait for you to meet this next girl. She is a senior in high school. She's completing the college graduation process. She's balancing time with friends and family the holidays. And she's also organizing an entire blood drive by herself.
Wow.
Although she has a little help this year from a family that she's familiar with. And in turn, she decided to basically host this drive in honor of their son, who is battling a form of leukemia right now. He's 2 years old.
And how does she know them?
Just from growing up in Scarborough and
family, friends kind of thing.
Yeah, just kind of in the neighborhood. But she's never met this little boy. She knows the family, but she's never met this little boy, and she hopes to meet him at this drive, and it's coming up January 3rd, so a week from tomorrow.
And this is one of those, I mean, it's been like this for quite some time now for the Red Cross, where they said they've been really in desperate need for blood donations, but the holidays are always, every year, a really, really tough time because people leave town, or they're not around, or they're, you know, yeah. It's
oh, look at the little puppy.
That's wicked cute.
For those watching TV too right now, that was cute.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, just got my stand goal. Nice.
There's stand goals, not step goals?
So I have, there's a move goal, there's an exercise goal, and then there's a stand goal. So move is just like walking, exercise is like when your heart rate gets above whatever, and then standing is it makes you stand up for a minute every hour or so. So got my stand goal, standing by. For the second year in a row, a Scarborough student is inspiring her peers to give what she calls the gift of life.
Amid the chaos of completing the college application process and carving out time for friends and family, Francesca Suster is organizing another blood drive, an effort to help a cause close to her heart at a time when donations are needed most.
I give blood a couple of times a year. I believe it's healthy for us, and there's a major need for it.
It's common for blood donations to slow down around Thanksgiving, according to the Red Cross. But this year, the decline started before then. Nationwide, they aim to have a 5-day blood supply ready in the event of an emergency. The supply right now would last 3 days at most.
I just finished my semester. Now that the holidays have died down a little bit, I have more time.
Students typically account for 20% of the overall blood supply, but don't donate as often during holidays or breaks. That's not the case for Erin Speeches, a graduate student.
I donate because I'm AB positive, so I'm actually donating plasma, not blood.
Children and adults fighting cancer can often depend on plasma. Children like 2-year-old Jackson Corbo.
He's from Scarborough, so
it hits home.
Francesca Suster is organizing a blood drive in his honor. This, her second one. The first time around, she was inspired to do so by the need for blood she witnessed herself.
My parents gave me the option of working or volunteering, so I decided to just put all my energy into helping.
She helped collect nearly 60 units of blood. This year, her goal is even more, and Jackson's family reached out, wanting to help. She recognized the name.
The Corbeau family? Like, of course, yes. We know them. We love them.
But there's one small detail.
I've never met Jackson personally, but I'm hoping I will soon.
For a little boy fighting a form of leukemia, Francesca set up the drive to be held next week at Martins Point in Scarborough.
It's crazy because I have to manage school, homework, college applications, supplements for the essays, and marketing for this drive and meetings. But it's worth it. It's all worth it.
A few more details now for that blood drive. It's scheduled for Thursday, January 3rd from noon to 6 p.m. at Martins Point in Scarborough, and we do have much more information at our website and mobile app to help you register ahead of time and get an appointment, which is definitely recommended.
It's really cool that they have that app now that you can find out your blood type, how many times you've donated, and you can actually set up appointments through that too. I've used that, it's pretty helpful.
There's actually a lot of stories on there too of people who've benefited from a donation, people who credit their lives to receiving the gift of blood. So really inspiring on that app as well.
Cool.
Jess, what a Christmas we had. It's so bright and sunny, pretty clear for people maybe driving home today.
Right, yeah, it was nice on Christmas. Remember last year on Christmas we had that blizzard?
Yes.
Not so much this year, smooth sailing. Still nice today, and it'll still be nice tomorrow. So good news there for sure. It's chilly though, 29 right now in Portland, 26 in Bangor. So temperatures, feeling a little cool, 21 in Millinocket, 16 right now in Caribou, and 17 in Greenville. Temperatures tomorrow will stay on the cool side. The good news kind of is that we're going to warm up a little bit by Friday afternoon. The maybe not so good news is that Friday morning looks like it could be pretty messy, unfortunately, just in time for your morning commute. So if you are planning on traveling on Friday, we're going to go through that pretty detailed in just a second. So right now, a couple clouds around, but that's about it. Fairly quiet out there tonight. Okay, so this is the storm that we're watching. It's way off to our south and west still. Tomorrow, this is what we'll be seeing. A whole lot of nothing. It's going to be mostly sunny for the day tomorrow, but this system will move into our area starting Friday morning, and it's going to be cold enough here that it will start as snow. We'll see some sleet and freezing rain, unfortunately, mix in too. So it could be pretty messy again on Friday morning. But tomorrow, not too bad. Temperatures starting out on the cool side for sure will be in the teens and low 20s as we go throughout the day tomorrow. We'll warm up some. Going to be tough though for things to warm up tomorrow with high pressure in place. It'll be sunny, but it's just not going to warm up much. Most of us will stay in the 20s for tomorrow, but by tomorrow night we'll really start to see the clouds move in. You can see as we go into tomorrow night and certainly into Friday morning, it continues to cloud up. And then this is 7 o'clock on Friday morning, so many locations already seeing snow at this point. You'll watch as we go through Friday morning into late Friday morning, we'll start to see some sleet and freezing rain mix in. But by Friday afternoon and especially into Friday evening, it looks like we'll all change over to rain. And this thing's out of here pretty quickly, so it might be a little bit messy for your morning commute. However, the storm moves through quickly, so that means the snowfall totals not going to be that impressive, of course, because we're changing over to rain as well. Coating to an inch at the coast, Lewiston, Augusta, up to Bangor, 1 to 3, farther to the north and west, and in the mountains around 3 to 5. That's about it. More chances of snow, though, in the forecast. Some of us might be excited about that. We'll clear out Saturday morning. We'll see another chance for snow late Monday night into early Tuesday. You can see it there. It looks like that'll be a system that, again, it changes over to rain on its way out. Then a pretty close shot next Friday of some snow. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Here's your marine forecast for tomorrow. Seas 2 to 4 feet, winds from the northwest at 10 to 20 knots. Your extended forecast, it's all over the place, really. Tomorrow's cold, but it'll be mostly sunny in the morning. Those clouds moving in the afternoon. Then on Friday, starting as snow, some sleet and freezing rain mix in, and then all of us will change over to rain by late Friday afternoon. Saturday looks good, though. It's going to be warm early, so those temperatures in the 40s will occur earlier in the day. Then the winds kind of shift around. They'll come from the northwest. It's going to get windy, and that's going to cool us off. Look at the highs on Sunday. Ooh. Upper teens and lower 20s, not great. On Monday, a couple degrees warmer, and then it's going to be fairly comfortable for New Year's Eve. So
going out with 2018 with temps all over the place.
Yeah, true.
A mixed bag.
Yes.
All right, then. Thanks so much, Jess.
We know how crazy the weather can be in Maine sometimes, so here's a That's So Maine that sums it up perfectly. Ron Malone taking out the fat bike for a ride at Crystal Spring Community Farm in Brunswick, and he posts, "Oops, I did it again. 50% mud, 50% ice, and soft trail equals 100% fun." That's awesome. I've never done that.
I've never done that either,
Yeah.
but it does look like a blast. Hey, speaking of a blast, News Center at 5:30 is coming up in just a few minutes. Rob Caldwell's in for Cindy Williams with a look at some of the stories you'll see in that broadcast. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Lindsay and Chris. Governor-elect Janet Mills has taken another step toward filling her cabinet. She has picked the woman she wants to be her Commissioner of Education, and this woman is a former Maine Principal of the Year. Don Kerrigan will tell us more about what she would bring to the job. And there are people who have not the slightest interest in going into a store on this day after Christmas, and there are people who can't wait to get into the stores. For the latter, it is a day of return and gift cards, and News Center's Sean Stackhouse was out among them. Those stories and more straight ahead on News Center at 5:30. Chris, Lindsay?
Rob, thanks so much. News Center Now continues when we come back. Sorry, I didn't know exactly what it was about.
So when is this gonna stop?
What, the prompter?
Yeah. That.
It's been going for months.
Spinning that around.
We've been doing it for like a long time.
How long?
Like months. Since the summer.
Consistently every day?
Yeah. You guys, okay, here's the funny part about all this.
Yeah.
Our Facebook friends know what this is by now.
Right.
We joked months ago when we first started having to run prompter about how much of a distraction it was, and it became an inside joke, and we talked about how this looks like a phone, and we would say, like, we would make up fake phone calls, you guys remember. So yeah, we're basically talking about this guy, and it boils down to a shortage of folks here.
No, it's I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do anything like that, but it's like super difficult, and like honestly, I'm sweating. My hands are sweating so much. I'm so nervous. I don't want to mess it up.
Funny thing about this, so it is really hard. It's kind of like trying to do this, you know, like.
Yeah, while smile and talk to the camera.
Yeah,
see,
Isaac's got it. Yeah, see the multitasking. It's kind of hard, but.
Just a short time. We're just gonna do the Christmas in Times Square.
Okay.
Got it. Mr. Pelletier, hello.
I will say one quick more thing about the prompter.
Yeah.
For someone who's type A like me, I do kind of like the control. And when I was learning how to do this whole thing, I was at a place where we did have to run our own prompter, and it helped me because I was doing crazy things with my hands while I was talking, and it gave me a place to put my hand. It was a mouse. So it made sure one hand at all times was not going crazy.
Okay, I got you.
So it can be helpful. Insert comment from Keith where he says, "Why is Lindsay so positive? It's annoying. She's a serial killer." Because we know that's what Keith would say.
Robert, I've got something on my desk that you gave to me.
That's cool.
Right over there. John's going to give me prompter glasses. I appreciate it, John. Okay, quick. In the last commercial break, best present you gave or best present you received for Christmas? Go.
Okay.
Go.
Hand warmers.
Ooh, smart.
Yeah.
A big glass container so I can make my cold brew coffee. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you know I love to post videos of doing that.
Check this out. A New Jersey couple took their Christmas Eve tradition to another level this year. They got married. Now they have the best anniversary date. For 10 years, Kathy Fitzpatrick and Tim Bollenbrook have been visiting the Rockefeller Center on Christmas Eve, the tree there at midnight. They were planning to get married but hadn't found the right moment until this year. Kathy suggested they tie the knot under that big tree. Loved ones and a crowd of strangers all there to witness this beautiful moment. She had a veil and everything. How great.
All right, thanks for watching News Center Now. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Okay, bye guys. We'll see you later. Alrighty.
Bruins tickets.